Hello students, this video is about ICSE Grade 7 Chapter 1 Matter and its Composition Part 2. In Part 1, we discussed about matter, characteristics of matter, Dalton atomic theory and characteristics of solids. In this video, we will discuss about characteristics of liquids and gases. First, we discuss about characteristics of liquids. The particles in the liquids are held together by slightly weaker interparticle force as compared to the solids. Interparticle force is the force which hold the particles together. The particles in the liquids are held together by slightly weaker interparticle force as compared to the solids. As the particles present in the liquids are held together by slightly weaker interparticle force, the interparticle space will be more in case of liquids as compared to solids. So liquids has weaker interparticle force, maximum interparticle phase as compared to the solids. So that liquids do not have fixed shape or size, but they have fixed volume. Liquids can take up the shape of the container in which they are kept. As the particles in the liquids are held together by weaker interparticle force, the interparticle space will be maximum as compared to the solids, so that liquids do not have fixed shape and size, occupy the shape of the container. Look at this two different shaped container which has same quantity of liquids. Liquids occupy the shape of the container. Liquids can flow from higher level to lower level. This property of liquids by which they can flow is called fluidity. So liquids can flow from higher level to lower level. This property of liquids is known as fluidity. The kinetic energy possessed by the liquids is more than the kinetic energy possessed by the solids. So kinetic energy possessed by the liquids will be more when you compare the solids, kinetic energy of the solids. Thus, the particles have a bit more interparticle space and hence they are slightly free to move as compared to solids. Liquids has weaker interparticle force, maximum interparticle space compared to solids, so that particles present in the liquids are slightly free to move as compared to solid, so that it possesses more kinetic energy. Liquids can be compressed to some extent since they have little space between the particles. As liquid has more maximum interparticle space as compared to solids, can be compressed to some extent. The gases have almost negligible interparticle force and hence have the maximum interparticle space. As gas particles have almost negligible interparticle force, that is, the force which hold the particles together is almost negligible. So negligible interparticle force and hence have maximum interparticles space as compared to the solids and liquids. Due to the maximum amount of space between the particles, the gases can be compressed very easily. Gases can be compressed very easily as compared to solids and liquids. And this is due to the maximum amount of space between the particles. As the gases have negligible interparticle force and maximum interparticle space, they do not have fixed shape, size or volume. The gases can flow and occupy the space available to them. Now, we are going to compare the characteristics of solid, liquid and gas. Particles of solids held together by strongest intermolecular forces. They have least intermolecular spaces as compared to liquids and gases. They have a definite shape, size and volume. They cannot flow. They cannot be compressed because they have negligible intermolecular space, so they cannot be compressed. Liquids. Liquids, they have weaker intermolecular forces than solids. They have more intermolecular space than solids. They have indefinite shape, size, but they have definite volume. They can flow. They can be slightly compressed but require a great deal of pressure. Gas. They have the weakest intermolecular forces as compared to solids and liquids. They have maximum intermolecular spaces as compared to solids and liquids. They do not have definite shape, size and volume. They can flow and take up the entire available space. They can be compressed very easily. Kinetic energy possessed by the solid particles is very less compared to liquids and gases, so they can vibrate from their places. Kinetic energy possessed by the liquid particle is maximum compared to solids, so they can move freely. Kinetic energy possessed by the gas is maximum compared to liquids and gases, so they can move freely and occupy the available spaces. Properties of solids, liquids, gases. Mass. Solids as definite mass. Liquids as definite mass. Gases as definite mass. Shape. Solids has definite shape. Liquids and gases occupy the container's shapes. Aqueous the shape of the container. Volume. Solids, liquids as definite volume, gases as indefinite volume. Compressibility. Solids, they cannot be compressed, not possible. Liquids almost negligible. Gases highly compressible. Fluidity. Solids not possible. Liquids can flow. Gases or also can flow. Rigidity. Solid particles are highly rigid. Liquids less rigid. Gases not rigid. Diffusion. Solids, diffusion rate is low. Liquids fast. Gases very fast. Space between particles most closely packed. Liquids are less closely packed. Gases are least closely packed. Interparticle force in case of solids. Strongest. Here slightly weaker than in solids. Then interparticle force is negligible in case of gases. Thank you so much, students. If you like this video, click the like symbol, share to your friends, subscribe my channel for more videos.